Hey, y'all. This is Dr. Traci Harrell. You are not going to believe the story that I get to tell today. So we're going to talk about two things, and I'll adjust my lighting here, but I just had to come on to tell you a little bit about this next level regarding legacy building, right? So we've talked about this concept of better together and living powerfully. And we've also talked about the importance of showing up in integrity. And sometimes when we have these breakthroughs, it's almost like you have to like pause in the moment to tell the story so that you can make sure other people can benefit from your learnings. So the next book that I'm writing and this whole series that we're going to be building around in the summer is around living your legacy. And we have a lot of people that are absolutely living their legacy now. And so what I'm excited about is being able to talk about some breakthroughs, right? And again, I'm an amazing coach. I really am, but this ain't about me. My company is called It's All Bigger Than Me. So today I get to talk about another coach who shared some things with me, and then I'll summarize some great learnings for you. But what I think a lot of people don't get, Debrina Jackson Gandy is the person I'm going to talk about. Her company is called Masterminds Unlimited. I'm a certified, I was already a certified transformational coach. I'm a certified facilitator with David Bear, a certified success coach with Success Magazine. But I did Debrina Jackson Gandy's, she has a transformational coaching certification. And as a part of that work, she makes sure the coaches, again, coaches need coaches too. Like all coaches need coaches, all amazing athletes and people, if they're smart, right? They're always trying to level up their game. And for me, Debrina's been exceptional. She's been absolutely wonderful. So when I have these breakthroughs, I want to share them because, as a transformational coach and as you go on your transformation, you're not watching the show because you just, like sports, right? That's the next show. That's Lidline Sports. You're not showing up for any reason other than I'm going to show up trying to do my very best to help you level up in whatever you're doing, right? And it's better when we level up together. That's why we do the Better Together Empowerment Series, right? And I talk about living powerfully, which means different things to different people. But what's really important is when you have a breakthrough, a transformation that takes you from that caterpillar that used to be scooching along on a branch to that butterfly. It's a new level of awareness. So I want to take you on a journey to really talk about that new level of awareness. And just to be clear, once you're there, you barely remember what it was like to be that caterpillar, right? So here's the deal. If you've ever been trying to change a thing, if you've ever been trying to do some work in your community or for your business or in another business that you are part of, if you've tried to do that, and I'm gonna see if I can adjust myself and adjust my light. Get that little annoying for me. Okay, that's better. That's better. So what I want to do today is talk about a breakthrough again. So Debrina Jackson Gandy talks a lot about forgiveness work and forgiveness when it comes to, you're like, what exactly does that mean? Or work that allows you to really look at your beliefs. When you're a transformational coach, you know that it's not just about what you say you're going to do. It's what do you believe? Because it's your beliefs that dictate your emotions, right? Like if I believe that money's hard to make, then I'm going to feel anxious, right, when it comes to money matters, right? But if I can also believe that I'm a money magnet, that's what I do believe, right? Money comes to me. I don't have to do stuff for free, right? I don't have to. Right? Because people see the value. I'm freaking amazing. Anyone who knows me, like I overdo everything. Like I that's part of my hyperachiever mode. So I say that to say when we show up in community, when we show up for ourselves, it's based on what we believe. And so when you do some digging, do the work that actually allows you to go deeper than just talking about what I do, it's really what do I believe that dictates how I feel. It's how you feel that dictates your actions or your inactions, right? If you think about it, we have thoughts. Well, our thoughts are linked to our emotions, right? And it's those actions that lead to the result. So we want to make sure that we understand digging deep means you're not just looking at what did I do? And I want to just do something different. That's a level of professional development, but it's not transformational, right? It's not the transformational coaching that we all, and transformational living, right? The transformations that we all need when we're really trying to level up. Okay, I just want to go backwards. So now when I talk about beliefs, hopefully it'll all make sense. I know. So, so um, fitness and well-being. I and Darina oftentimes, and there's another book that we've read as a part of her transformational coaching, which I actually read. I think I read it in high school initially for the very first time, and I was like, it was called Psycho-Cybernetics. That was a book, and if you're country, I'm from Florida. They used to have commercials about this book called Psycho-Cybernetics, and the commercials were all like, this is going to change everything. Well, it did for me. It just reminded me of all these things and that are core and foundational to people who want to level up, right? If you believe, that situations are going to work out for you, they will. And so little Traci, little sixth grade Traci, when I first, started to challenge the universe in a way, I was 5 or 6 years old, right? By sixth grade, I was solid into my being brilliant. People knew me as a straight A student, so I was brilliant. I was courageous. I was fearless, I think, right? And so I showed up and I showed up fearless. Like my mom always told me you could do anything. I believed it, right? And so I say all that to say when we are trying to transform, when we're trying to become our best selves, it is so important that we really do the work to go deeper. Because even though I said, oh, I believe I could do anything, I was also bullied as a kid. Like my brother he was probably the biggest bullier of all, right? My oldest brother, my second oldest brother, Doug, and we bonded over it since then. But as a young person with a dark complexion, I used to love my dark skin, but he used to like say negative things, and I would say that there was some residual of that made me feel less than in some ways, even though I didn't show up like that because I was always doing the extra because I knew I wasn't. But there was some energy, some deeper, gunk that I kind of had to uncover to make sure I was dealing with those old, we call them wounds, right? So when something happens today and it's like a trigger, it's typically because you have a wound that's unhealed. Something that you should think about differently, that you should really look at patterns that have shown up in your life, and you're asking, what must I believe for that pattern to be true? That's how we do this belief work. So I want to make sure we're clear, right? It's not easy because it's like beliefs are like the wind, right? They're there, they're prevailing, you know what I'm saying? They're there, but you can't see them, right? What you see are the actions that result from them. You see the beliefs that lead to, our emotions, that connect to, our thoughts that lead to our emotions that lead to our actions or inactions. So let me just clarify that. So our beliefs lead to our thought leads to our emotions lead to our actions or inactions, and that's really how we get to our results, the results that show up in life, right? So if you can believe those things, then you have to say, look at the patterns in your life, the ones that you don't want to repeat, right? And then you have to ask yourself, what must I believe for that to be true? That's how you see these invisible beliefs. Not easy to get to. They're not like they're not negative. They're what must I believe is true? What must I believe to be true for this to keep showing up in my life, right? Like what must I believe? So for me, as it relates to wellness and health and wellness, we're always talking about like our bodies that are divine living temples. If I really believed that, then I would be more regular, taking my vitamins or my medication or supplements or drinking water and choosing healthier foods. If I had been believing that, I say in the past, but I believe it now with all of my heart and soul. And I'm making sure that I try to show up differently, right? Try to show up differently. Ask myself those tough questions, right? If I'm doing something that's contrary to what I say I believe, meaning if I believe my body is a divine temple, then waking up and not taking my medicine or my supplements should be foreign to me. And over the last weekend, was when I kind of started going deeper and realizing, ooh, I have to forgive myself for not treating my body like a divine temple, for going sometimes days and not taking medication, supplements, any of that. Well, if I love someone else, I would be. I mean, I give dogs their medicine because I love them, but I can't give myself my medicine. Are you sure you love yourself? Are you sure you love this temple that you call, that the Holy Spirit is living in? It's like, if when your actions don't align with the words that you say, that's when you really have to do the work around your beliefs. Just want to make sure we're on the same page, right? And it's okay that we have instances, situations, I'll call them, right, where things don't align. It's okay. It's just being honest with yourself. Oftentimes we just let it go, right? We just say things, I'm going to work out today. And then the day goes and you don't. And then you're like, I broke another promise to myself. Right? That's not living powerfully. It's not. It's not choosing yourself. It's not loving yourself. It's not really believing that you are a divine living temple, that you really, so for me, this is about my journey of loving myself, right? Even more. It's like, I have to ensure that my actions, my beliefs, my thoughts really align with that. So I say this to say I had to really, really go deep and then apologize. I have a little fat roll, which I would show you, but you've seen it before. Two little bellies right here, right? And it's like, I'm sorry, body, that I've allowed so much time to go by where I wasn't choosing wisely, where my actions did not align with the words that I say. But I really do. Like, no, I don't love anything more than I love my divine creator. Let me say that, right? So when I talk about, oh my God, Lord, this is your divine temple. I love your temple. I can take that down to another level. I was created in your image. So of course I double down, quadruple down, love me. And I thought I did already. I thought I was saying the right things. I thought I was doing the right things. The truth is clearly not. Right? Clearly I was not. So I want to offer this gift to you, to each of you. I want to offer this gift to you. If there's any area in your life where, again, you set out some goals for the year, for 2025, it's time to thrive in 2025. That was my language. Last year, it was less is more in 2024. And I was minimizing expenses and minimizing the physical things in my life. And I realized now is the time to thrive in 2025, right? There's nothing preventing me from doing this work. And it's deep work on myself, starting with myself before I can go out and be like, oh, here's the thing. And again, I got some great information. So I'm a great trainer. I'm a great coach. I'm a great consultant. Like I kill it. But when it comes to the physical and the weight loss, I was allowing myself to choose in a less than optimal way, which means I was not being authentic and caring to my own divine temple. So what I kind of do now, this is the before and after. Before I just kind of let it happen. Now I wake up reminding myself. I kind of had to just do this work, this forgiveness work, saying, oops, sorry. Like I took my eye off the ball from a wellness perspective. I made choices on a regular basis that did not align with someone who was like, hey, I'm gonna go walk some more today. I'm gonna go do this other thing today. Right? Like I wasn't choosing well. So it's like choose you is the basically the ask of the day. Choose you. You choose. You get to choose what success looks like. And the answer is choose you. YOU. I have a whole little acronym that I came up with. It's in the book. It's like, yeah, I'll share it later. Because I just really want to tell this story right now because it's so interesting how I'll forget this. Like I will forget how I used to wake up and just decide not to take my medication. Over the last few days, and I bought even extra supplements, like my legs started acting up and I had to talk to my leg. Hey, what are you trying to tell me? When I say acting up, I literally couldn't walk. And it was like behind my leg, some ligaments. I fell at a friend's house about a couple of years ago or something like that. I twisted my ankle. She had some carpet, some greening, some golf carpet or something ridiculous. And I was making a turn and I slipped down and I twisted my leg and it hurt then. Um, but it doesn't hurt all the time, but on occasion, it like totally acts up. And so a year ago, I had to go to the emergency room because I literally could not walk for an entire day. I couldn't straighten it out. I couldn't get out of bed. The fireman had to come. I gave them my key out of my window so they could come in and like break my door down and take me to the emergency room in a gurney. So clearly I was getting a sign then, right? Which means I could have been activating and being more intentional about my health then. I didn't. It's okay, because it happened again a year later, and exactly a year later. Maybe not exactly the day, but like a full year later. And so it's great. Thank you. You know, now I will ask the question, what are you trying to tell me, body? And it was very clear. It was like, you don't love me. Clearly you don't. Did you take your medication today? No. Did you know I'm vitamin D deficient? I knew that from when I took my last time I took my blood work. Vitamin D, are you taking your vitamin D? That's a very important thing. Magnesium, that's one of the things I'm using now. I'm taking supplements. I'm spraying magnesium oil on this little leg as I heal my body and continue to do the forgiveness work to myself, because all you can do is forgive and keep it moving, make better choices in the future. So, and look at your beliefs differently. So when your beliefs change, when you truly change your beliefs, right, that's when your thoughts change, your emotions change, your emotions, which lead to your actions, change. Your actions are now like, oh, I can't even imagine what it would be like if I woke up and didn't take my supplements. That's like a key part of just investing in me, like putting my own mask on in the morning. So I'm saying this and I'm doing this show specifically because I want to make sure we all have those things. We have to. Otherwise, we'd all be living our best lives. And in a lot of ways, I am. I do have to admit, in like 8 out of 10 areas of my life, I would probably say 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 areas. I'd say I'm feeling like absolutely like will not change a thing. Continuing to grow and develop, of course, but feeling like I'm definitely living my best life. If I could show you the place I'm staying right now, I'm house sitting. Last, I don't know, month, I was at this place with a beautiful view of Puget Sound. Now I'm at a place with a beautiful view of Lake Union. I'm sorry, but God is good. It's a blessing. It is such a blessing, and I couldn't be happier. And I have heated toilets and a warm bidet. I hate bidets when there's like cold water, but if there's like some hot water, I'm just saying these are luxuries. I don't know if I can live a regular life anymore. I'm like, I've been living all these luxurious places, heated floors in my bathroom. My towel is on a heated towel rack right now, waiting for me to take a shower this evening. Woo! I'm sorry. It's a blessing. It is a blessing. It is a blessing. It is a blessing. So I'm house sitting, and I get to live this very luxurious lifestyle, and financially, because I've been gifting so many of my services and community, allow myself to make less than I should be, right? Moving away from some of the corporate clients, but I'm about to move back into it because there's some unreliability that I've been experiencing in some ways that I can't have that. That can't be my life. Like I gotta have my dollars flowing too. So I'm going to be doing more of that. Like I got some things that we're tightening up. I'll just say we're tightening up some things so that money flows well. But it hasn't stopped me from like wanting to contribute to amazing work. And I will continue to do that for sure, because that's actually what makes me feel like confirm that I am doing exactly what God put me on this earth to do, right? When I support organizations that are doing great things in community, it's like, oh, this is my life. This is what I want to do. This is how I really want to show up. So I couldn't be more grateful, but in business, right? Like that I'm able to contribute. My values include this concept of fairness, right? Like I want to give and I want to support and help. So then there's the results is another value. Results and really knowing that I'm, have an impact, right? That's important to me. As a Libra, there's also this concept of justice and fairness, right? That's important. A service, like I like to give, I like to help. I will overgive almost all the time because I see greater needs than really most often other people do. So I say all this stuff to say, when you think about your values, you want to make sure your life and your actions are aligned with your values. Whew, so much more to come. Looks like I have 1 minute before I have to go on my first break. And then when I come back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit more about what you can do each and every day to truly live your best life, to really make those decisions, to choose wisely, to align your beliefs, to really look at your beliefs, to look deeply at your beliefs and decide what you need to do about your beliefs so that you can truly, truly, truly live your best life. Y'all, we are live right here. We're live on Rainier Avenue Radio. This is Dr. Traci Harrell, and you're watching Better Together and Living Powerfully. So I'm going to ask you to stay with us, do one little baby break, and we'll be right back with more Living Powerfully. Stay with us.
Vegetables in the fridge. Place in reusable containers. Keep bread in the freezer for longer storage. 40% of food in the U.S. goes uneaten. Save money, save food, save the planet. Visit Seattle Public Utilities for more tips.
Hello, listener. What's important to you about what's going on in your community? Are you interested? Are you concerned? In any case, I invite you to tune into my show, Seattle Here and Now, on Rainier Avenue Radio.org. Why? I will be covering a wide range of topics important to you and impacting the community. Each show will have a special guest or guests to share with you information on a variety of subjects that are happening here and now in Seattle. I promise I will work hard to make my show informative, interesting, and entertaining. Be sure to listen to Seattle Here and Now on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
The climate crisis is here, and communities most impacted are standing up. This is Earth Deserves More Than a Day, hosted by Rainier Avenue Radio and King County Parks. From elected officials, grassroots leaders, from river tours to cultural art, we gather to take action. Listen in. Learn more, then get involved, because the Earth can't wait, and neither can we.
Hello, I'm Tony Young, and every week I will be your guide to the music of the Fab Four with my show With the Beatles. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, those four lads from Liverpool. First airings are Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. with repeats on Thursdays and Saturdays from 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Tune in to catch Beatlemania.
Are you in need of new or gently used clothing? Hope's Community Closet is here to help. We offer a wide range of clothing for men, women, youth, children, and infants. Join us on the fourth Saturday of each month from 12:30 to 4 at the Silent Task Force. We're giving clothing with care, community with heart. Lovely Ladies Lemonade for sale, and shop to the sound of old school soul. Any questions? Contact Alicia Kennedy, Executive Director of Women United at 206-316-7601. 206-316-7601. Come and find the perfect outfit for you and your family. We look forward to seeing you there.
Here with the Rainier Avenue Radio traffic update. You can listen to us in your car 24/7 anytime by downloading the free TuneIn app. Once you do, search Rainier Avenue Radio. And remember, do not curse out your fellow drivers. This has been your Rainier Avenue Radio traffic update.
Hey y'all, this is Dr. Traci Harrell, and you are watching Living Powerfully, the Living Powerfully experience, and Better Together, because it's so much better when we do this work together. And today, I could not be more excited. We're going to be talking about truth, transformation, and legacy. And I'm going to ask you to start by asking yourself, same questions I've been asking myself. A lot of my transformation has come from belief work. So then you want to ask yourself, do your beliefs empower you, right? Do your beliefs align with the actions that you set out for yourself. And again, you might be like, again, beliefs are hard to like kind of come across, kind of hard to put your hands on because they're like the wind. They're there, they're in the background, it's invisible, right? Your beliefs is what empower your thoughts. Your thoughts are what lead to your emotions lead to your actions or your inactions, and it's your actions or your inactions that lead to your results. And that's like the five, the 5 steps when it comes to just basic empowerment, when it comes to transformation. Smart people will ask you to actually do the work and to really look at what you believe. So when you ask yourself, do your beliefs empower you? For me, the answer was no. And it's not like you have to ask yourself what patterns are showing up in your life that are not aligned with the results that you want. And I was just talking about eating things and choosing not to take my medication, right? And rewarding myself with food on occasion. But really, the medication and the supplement thing was kind of like the big thing for me. And it's like, if I really loved myself and my belief was true that this is a divine living temple, then I would do things differently. So then everything starts with our beliefs. Our beliefs shape how we see the world. They shape how we treat ourselves. Our beliefs shape what we think is possible. So I had to really pause and say, how am I treating myself? If I'm not taking my medication, there must be some belief that would say, am I not worthy? I don't think I believe that, but the patterns are not, will tell the truth. The patterns, when you shake the tree of the patterns and your beliefs fall out, right? You got to shake it hard and shake it long. So for me, the fact that, I believe I'm worthy. I have to believe that, but my actions weren't showing it. I believe I love myself. Other beliefs can be like, I don't think I'm good enough. Maybe that's why I don't know. I didn't think that was true, but what must be true? If you wake up every day. I had a friend of mine, we did a live together, and she's like, Traci, I'm diabetic, and I sometimes don't take my diabetes medication. And my mouth kind of like was like, what? But I have high blood pressure, the silent killer. I was borderline diabetic. Hopefully my food choices are moving me away from borderline, and the supplements I'm taking and the water I'm drinking and the thing, like the movement. So hopefully my lifestyle is moving me away from borderline diabetic. But she's like, I'm straight up diabetic, and I sometimes don't take my medication. So we all have to think about, the truth. What is true for us? It's sometimes hard. Like I must have believed, my core beliefs. Again, I was talking about my values earlier. But if your actions are sabotaging you, we've already talked about the saboteurs. There's some more work we can do around that, and that leans to this. But this is deeper than that. This actually goes to the core of, you kind of layer in your saboteurs also have beliefs connected to them. So if you're saying, do my beliefs serve my highest self, or are they sabotaging my success? That's what you got to ask yourself. And you're like, I don't know. How do you spot your misalignment? If you're like, I don't know, but there's something off, great. Then let's roll back. I'm going to take you through the steps. You want to first spot some misalignments, right? If we're going to be true to ourselves, some things are not aligned. And these are sometimes, honestly, as boss chicks or boss dudes, where you're like, hey, I'm rocking it over here. Like, I'm brilliant and I'm doing all these great things. Yeah, but there's some areas of your life where there's just misalignment, right? Right? Say I want to start a business, but do you really think you're smart enough to be an entrepreneur? Your actions will reflect your belief, not your goal. If your goal is to start the business, but you really don't believe you can do it because you've heard how hard it is and blah, 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 right? Maybe you want to get wealthy, but do you believe that you never stick to anything? Again, that belief is going to be the thing that holds you back. So you want to reframe. So you want to really pause and reflect. And think about reflection time. If you think about what is one goal that you want to accomplish, I laid this out for you so I wouldn't, so I can leave a very clear roadmap. What is one goal you want to accomplish? And what belief might be limiting you? What might be holding you back? Is your daily actions, plural, are your daily actions align with your goal, or they align with your fear? Because we do have fears too. I'm afraid people may not want to pay my prices. Then those are not my best clients. because I'm exceptional. Anybody who gets me, they got it good, is all I can say. I'm doing some work around myself, right? And this whole PQ program, positive intelligence, has a lot of value. I was trying to get people to do the daily thing on the app, and for some people it was too much. And the truth is, I wasn't even doing it daily. I have done it daily, but when I was asking them to do it at the same time, I wasn't doing it daily either. So I kind of had to check myself as well to make sure that we do the work that really, really matters. And daily work matters, but it's really about what action are you taking that's aligned with your goal every day. We talked about this last week. 1 action, 2 action, 3 action, do something, right, that is aligned with your goal. And if you're spotting these misalignments, that's awareness. And there's multiple layers of awareness too. When I think about this living powerfully experience, your multiple layers of awareness is where you get to, be truthful, be honest with yourself. So if you're spotting your misalignments, and we did that for a minute, then you want to rewrite those limiting beliefs, right? The good thing is with positive intelligence, how we talk about these saboteurs, these internal voices that operate from fear and from shame and from guilt. Instead of letting those voices run the show, we activate the sage part of our brain. That's what those steps were that we were going through most of last year and earlier part of this year, right? We were saying, catch the limiting belief. When you see the saboteurs showing up, say, When you wake up and you think about, I got to go do something before taking my vitamins or my supplements or my medication, say, nope, not this day. I'm putting myself first. Yeah. And then when you do that, you got to pause and be like, yeah, I almost slipped into some shenanigans, but that's not who I am anymore. So it's almost like stepping into the new you, like healthy Traci. That's me. Healthy Traci 2.0, right? I love taking my vitamins. My day does not start until I've taken my vitamins and supplements, right? Because that's so important to me, because I'm so important to me, because I know that you got to have a human vehicle to have this spiritual experience that we're all having, right? So I do got to fuel this vehicle. So you want to catch those limiting beliefs. You want to say, when they speak to you, you say, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true for me. That's a thought that I've practiced in the past. That may be a thought that's come up in the past, but that's not true for me. And then you replace it with a sage thought or a positive thought, a thought that is rooted in your love for yourself, that's rooted in your growth. I do want to get to the next level. That's rooted in possibilities. Think about what's possible for you. I contributed to a book. I was a project lead for the book, actually. You can find it on Amazon. It's called Ignite Possibilities. There was a volume 1 and a volume 2. Volume 2, like I said, it's the same book. We just redesigned the cover because it's the same book. But get volume 2. You can see my name on the cover on that one. Volume 1, it was an all black cover, just beautiful and black and gold, and there wasn't no room for names. But we did do a redo on that one. Anyway. Possibility. That word was so important. That book it's called Ignite Possibilities. And I helped 30 authors write their story about what's possible. And the truth is, anything is possible if you believe it's possible. I'm gonna pause. Anything is possible if you truly believe that it's possible, right? If you say things like, I'm too old to start over, right? You could also say, I have a lifetime of wisdom to build from. I'm definitely not too old. This is the perfect time of my life to start to go double down on this business, right? You could say, I never followed through. Maybe some things you didn't used to do, but you can't be held accountable for what you didn't do. What you're saying now is, today I choose to take one bold step forward. Don't worry about what used to happen. That's your past, right? What you're saying is, today I choose to take a bold step forward toward my goals. First, like, I'm going to do this first. So again, you have to, number one, pause and really ask yourself the question. Really think about the power of belief. Secondly, you're going to spot these misalignments, or there are areas where, some patterns that have shown up that you think you believe a certain thing, but the outcome and the actions that you're taking don't align with that. Well, it's okay. That's when you stop them and you say, okay, here's an area where there's misalignment. Number 3, you want to rewrite those limiting beliefs. When those negative things come up, when those saboteurs start speaking, you immediately you stop them and you say, no, that's not me. That's used to be. You used to show up, but I don't let saboteur lies. leave me right now, right? And you say the truth, whatever the new truth is for you, right? And then you decide what action. Now, this is number 4. You want to align your daily action with your goal. And the only way for you to do that is to do some deeper work around your beliefs. Because you can't say, oh, I'm just going to do this thing. I'm going to do this thing. You can say you want to do the thing. The goal is not your decisions determine your destiny, not your goals. It's your decisions. It's those daily doings, right? So you want to align your daily actions with your goal. If your decisions determine your destiny, that's those daily decisions, those little things, those micro. When I was like, do one thing every day, do 2 things every day, whatever it is. If you just did one thing every day, you're like over 1,000% closer to your goal by the end of the year. One thing. I'm saying do 3, like double down. We're halfway through the year. I'm joking. I'm doing 3 things every day, right? Related to my health and wellness. All you have to do is 1. So again, if you're going to say, I'm going to align my daily actions with your goals and with my new beliefs, because I've now reframed those limiting beliefs, and when they're going to pop up, because you've probably been thinking some of those saboteurs have been showing up way longer, right? Then this new belief that you have, so you got to keep reinforcing it. And you want to say, that's where affirmations come from. You want to reinforce, I am amazing. My body really is a divine living temple, and I'm going to show up as such. Hello. Right? That's what you do. So when you get practical, beliefs are at the root of everything. Beliefs are the roots. The actions are the fruit. So what actions are you taking daily that reflect your vision, that reflect your values, that reflect your purpose? Because we talked about those things, right? We talked about being on purpose, doing what you love, doing what you're good at, doing, finding an area where you can get paid and where you're going to make a contribution in the universe, that mission, right? The values are aligned in that way. So what would be the most this is the other question you can ask yourself. What would the most powerful version of me do today? What would the most powerful version of you do in this particular situation, in this moment? You're sitting there with a piece of cheesecake that you've already had before. They ain't like a brand new, version. And if it is, take a taste of it. Maybe take 2. Okay. Small, you're not eating the whole thing in 3 bites. But I'm saying, like, it's okay to have a taste of something, but make sure it's worth it, right? As you're on your regular course of fueling this divine temple, I want green, healthy things to fuel my body. Do I sometimes make choices that are not aligned with that? Absolutely. I had burgers and fries today. That's the only meal I had today. The only thing I've had. I will not eat anything else, right? I will have vegetables and fruit and all the things. I went out to a little event. It's okay. Like, I allowed myself to have it. I only ate half of the bread, half of the fries. I ate the meat, which was delicious, and it was a great experience. Wonderful. But I also was looking at those fries thinking, these are not healthy. I didn't say these aren't healthy. This is not the best choice for my body. So that's what you want to ask yourself. What would be the most powerful version? What would the most powerful version of me do today? What decision would healthy Traci make right now? And I like healthy Traci. She's cool. She's also going to be 100 pounds lighter by next year. So I had to document this too. I'm going to Jamaica in October with Debrina Jackson and her Holistic Success Group. I am I've already booked a 15-day cruise to Hawaii. And I've been to Hawaii before, but this is my birthday. So next year, I'm going to be 100 pounds lighter by then, because most of my choices will accrue to me being healthy Traci. So the outcome will be 100-pound weight loss. That's not my goal. My goal is to make decisions every day. Hello, hear me. To make decisions every day that will align with the outcomes that I want. So when I say, what would the most powerful version of you do today towards your goal? That's all you got to ask yourself. That's a pretty powerful question. And we're talking about living powerfully. So it's important that we have questions that we ask ourselves. It's also important that we aren't afraid of the answers. I'm all loud, but you know why? Because I love y'all. I love me too. But you ask yourself, what would the most powerful version of me do in this moment? And then act accordingly. Even if it's a tiny, small step, you want to do that small step and celebrate. Baby steps are steps. They're in the right direction, right? Just saying. Let me say that again. So the alignment check-in every morning is, what do I believe about myself today? Ooh, that's an alignment check. What do I believe about myself today? Is this belief helping or hurting my goal? I believe I'm amazing. I believe healthy Tracy wants to make good choices. I believe I want to move forward toward my releasing excess weight. So my choices will align with that. Yay. Okay. And every choice you make, every decision you make, is this helping or hurting my goal? Hello? What one action can I take that aligns with the future that I desire? I'm going to say that again a little slower. Decisions determine your destiny. So in addition to asking yourself, what would the most powerful version of me do today, early in the day? What would the most powerful version of me do in this moment when you're trying to make a decision? What one action can I take right now that aligns with the future that I desire? We all want different things in the future. That's pretty cool, right? So I'm going to recap. Number one, we said the power of belief and the power of belief. What you believe, you can achieve, right? And how your beliefs connect to your thoughts lead to your emotions lead to your actions, and it's your actions that lead to your result. The actions are inactions, dumb decisions, right? And so you don't have to go through the whole circle every time, something happens, because your beliefs, once you've created a belief that you can like hold on to and truly believe, then everything else is automatic. Like this is how your subconscious works. I want to clarify, right? I'm not saying that you're going to be aware of your thoughts and your emotions and all of that. I'm just letting you know that this is how it all is working. This is the neuroscience of positive psychology and living powerfully and doing this work, right? The neuroscience says your beliefs dictate your destiny, period, right? We all know that to be true. And so this isn't me making this up. It's in any book that's about anything serious on the brain and how the brain works. They're going to talk about beliefs, right? They're going to talk about thoughts and actions and emotions, and hopefully help you to go a little bit deeper. So if we wanted to pause and reflect, and I know I'm talking fast because I feel like I'm always short on time, but you want to ask yourself, what are the three core beliefs that I have about myself? And be honest. Again, this is going to be about truth, transformation, and legacy, right? So you got to be honest. And again, if you're like, I don't know what beliefs I have, what patterns are showing up in your life that may or may not be aligned with the goals that you want? It's those patterns. Again, it's the beliefs are the wind. The patterns are the leaves flowing in the wind. Look at the patterns. Look at the patterns. Right. I'm from Florida, girl. So you got palm trees. They're very resilient, right? And all the breeze. But you can look outside of the palm tree and even with the light breeze, and you can see which direction the breeze is going. Same is for you in your life. When you look at your patterns, things that are showing up that may or may not align with the outcomes that you want, your beliefs are the winds, right? It's those invisible forces that cause you to think a thing, to say a thing, to do a thing or not do a thing, right? It's because of what you believe. So you want to roll back and what are the core beliefs? And then again, we talked about spotting misalignment. So believing that your beliefs determine your destiny, your decisions determine your destiny, spotting the misalignments, right? That's important. A lot of us don't want to see them, but that's important. That's a pause. That's a level of awareness. Rewriting those limiting beliefs. Once you get to some of the patterns, you're like, oh, if that's true, then I must not believe I'm as worthy as I thought. If I'm not taking my medication, I must not deserve to be, So you gotta be honest with yourself. Then you want to rewrite those limiting beliefs. That was number 3. Number 4 was aligning your daily action with your goal. And number 5 was living powerfully on purpose. So if you know you're not by accident, you know that you have a purpose, you know that you have these amazing gifts. When you're exercising those gifts, when you're choosing intentionally and you're living intentionally, that's the definition of living powerfully. That's what all of the daily practice, it just happens with ease and flow. So I know it seems like a lot. If you're willing to do the work, digging up the roots is so valuable. And then these other things show up for you. So it's choosing belief systems that support you. It's letting go of the old stories. It's forgiving yourself, maybe for allowing your health to go to direction that you wouldn't want. I'm 100 pounds overweight, over my ideal weight for myself, right? So I got some work to do. Got it. I've done some things, like I said, I used to reward myself with food. I help people all the time. And I'm so helpful. I started a ministry. So I consider myself like doing work in ministry a lot. And so, again, that's important. But it's also important to pay your bills. So I got to choose wisely, right? So I think there was something to that whole money thing because I kind of had to pause. And if you know about your legacy, which is, again, the thing that I'm focused on right now, which is why the books are so important, why these videos are so important, because I'm like, when my day is gone, I need y'all to say that girl showed up for us. She was really trying to give her expertise, the knowledge. I want you to go on a journey and be able to say, hey, I really am living my best life. There's nothing better that if you have a higher calling, then you want to ensure that you are showing up, living on purpose, right? So if we want to bring this home today, what you've learned is which beliefs are running your life, right? The beliefs are running your life. You have some patterns that have shown up, and it's those patterns that will help you to get a little deeper. And that's where you get a coach. I'm a coach, by the way. Let me pitch for myself for a minute. I'm a coach. I'm an exceptional transformational coach. And this is often work that you do with a coach. So you can reach me at Traci at itsallbiggerthanme.com. That is my email address. It's all bigger than me. So I am a coach, but I show up every week to give you some insights. But the real work, the deep work is really, oftentimes one-on-one. It can be in a group session as well. But you want to make sure that you are asking yourself the right questions. I have a few minutes left, so I'm just going to summarize what you've learned and then your homework. You always have homework because we'll be back next week going to the next level of you ensuring that, those New Year's resolutions, we're resurrecting them. Whatever goals you wanted to accomplish in 2025, baby, it's June. Ending. Next week is July. Woo! July 1st. I think it's next week tomorrow. Like other 30 or 31 days in June. 30. So today is the end of June and tomorrow is July 1st, which means the clock is ticking. And so what I want to do is to ensure for you that you are able to spot misalignments in your life in the moment. Spot them before they happen. If you sat at a restaurant and were about to order a cheesecake and you were like, but I said I was going to Jamaica in October. This probably is not aligned with that. I got a Hawaii trip booked. I probably don't need that cheesecake. I can eat cheesecake later. I'm not banning myself from cheesecake forever, but like, what would be a healthier choice for me right now, right? I want to start this business, but I haven't done one thing I haven't thought about my business. I haven't written out a plan. I haven't done any. I'm a business coach, by the way, as well. So I used to teach the business planning curriculum for SCORE Seattle. So I'm also a business coach. If you're an entrepreneur, reach out. But if you're not doing anything, and there's all kind of free resources online, starting a business, like there's all kind of stuff you can do. Having an accountability partner that knows what they're doing is also valuable. So you want to ask yourself, if I say I want to do this thing, you want to spot these misalignments. So again, do the work around your beliefs. You want to look at the patterns in your life. Again, beliefs are like the wind. So if you see the wind blowing this way, if you see a bunch of things happening that do not align with your goals, start looking at those things first. Right? Because I had to check myself. How do you not take your own medication? Not ideal. So I got 2 minutes. Okay. So again, you want to know that your beliefs are running your life, and you want to look at those beliefs closely. You want to spot misalignments. You want to shift those beliefs, right? You have the ability to rewrite those limiting beliefs. Nope, that's not true for me. That used to be true, maybe, but that's not how I show up now. So you get to rewrite, you get to step into the new you. And then you want to make sure that every day that your daily actions align with your true desires. So you can check yourself in the moment. People are like, well, I don't check myself in the moment. I don't, when I'm interacting with people, there's a lack of integrity there, right? Like, it's in the moment that matters. Everything else later on, oops, sorry that I did this, and sorry that I did that, and sorry that I ate that cheesecake already. It's too late. Stop in the moment. It's decisions determine your destiny. Before you take the action, That's the power of the pause. We talked about that. We did a whole exercise on the power of the pause. It's when you put all these pieces together, the power of the pause leads to better decision making because you get to stop before you do the automatic thing, right? And you get to make a better decision. I know I got 1 minute left. So here's your homework. You want to write down one belief that's limiting you, and then you want to rewrite it to reflect your power and your purpose. Like my body is a living temple, and I'm going to make choices that align with that. And then take one action this week that aligns with that. I'm going to say take one action every day. I think I wrote it initially. I want you to do it every week. But every day, it's your daily doings. One little thing. I'm going to wake up and take my vitamins. It ain't that hard. And my supplement, I bought some new supplements too. My vitamin D3 and magnesium. And yes. So that's it. That's it. That's it. It's simple. It's powerful. But you're worthy. You're worth all of this. You're becoming who you were always meant to be. And this is the Living Powerfully experience. It's the Better Together Empowerment Series because it's so much better when we do this work together. Think about where you're going to be at the end of the year. If you just choose one thing each day that you're going to do that's going to help you achieve your goal, that's going to be aligned. Look at the misalignments and make better decisions. Remember, your decisions determine your destiny. Oh my goodness, I got it all in. Perfectly timed. Okay, y'all, this is Dr. Traci Harrell. I think I have an announcement somewhere. I'm on my phone, so I'm going to see if I can. Okay, I have an announcement.
Welcome to a pivotal moment